Why in the F is that security guard all up on Sophie Cunningham? And look, I think there is a reason she got up in Sophie's face. And I don't think there was any need to sort of bow up to Sophie like that.
The Indiana Fever finally had a playoff moment to celebrate, but of course, the WNBA found a way to stir up drama. Sophie Cunningham, rocking a leg brace, was just trying to enjoy the win with her teammates. But right in the middle of the celebration, a league security guard stepped in and tried to shut it down. Fans were not having it. So, here's the question. Is the WNBA purposely targeting Sophie because she doesn't fit the image they want to push? Let me know what you think in the comments. The stage was set. The Indiana Fever had just secured one of their biggest playoff wins in years, and they did it without Caitlin Clark, who's still out with an injury. The energy in the arena was unreal. Fans were going wild, the team was hyped, and on the bench, Sophie Cunningham was right there, backing her teammates despite nursing her own injury. Nothing shady, nothing out of line, just a player in street clothes cheering on her squad.
Odyssey Sims hit the floor very hard during the game last night, and her teammates came out to the floor to check on her, except, of course, the girls on the bench, Caitlin Clark, Chloe Bibby, Sophie Cunningham, they came to half court. Did not cross the line, by the way. But for whatever reason, we had a situation involving Paula Blart, mall cop. That's right, played this time in the role by Wheezy from Jefferson, the Jeffersons. Showed up last night to try to check Sophie Cunningham. Did she think Sophie Cunningham was about to run out there cause an incident? Sophie Cunningham's in a damn leg contraption. It's not even a brace, it's like a contraption.
But somehow, that was all it took to set off the WNBA's own version of a rent-a-cop. Out of nowhere, league security walked up and acted like Sophie was about to storm the floor or start chaos. Let's get this straight. She wasn't anywhere near the scorer's table, and she definitely didn't step onto the court. She was simply standing around half court, cheering like any teammate would. No rules broken. But in true WNBA fashion, the whole thing turned into a headline about optics instead of the actual game.
Odyssey was holding her right shoulder.
You could read it all over Sophie's face. First confusion, then straight up disbelief, and finally that classic Cunningham glare. And honestly, who wouldn't react that way? She's in a leg brace. Running onto the court isn't even an option. But instead of approaching the situation calmly, security went in hard, leaning over her and barking like she was causing trouble. The clip blew up online, not because Sophie crossed a line, but because it once again highlighted the strange double standard that seems to follow her everywhere in her career. Fans were furious, and it showed instantly. Social media exploded within minutes. Instead of celebrating the Fever's big win or Lexi Hull's clutch plays, the conversation shifted to Sophie Cunningham, who, despite being injured and simply cheering, was treated like she was some kind of criminal. The outrage was immediate and, honestly, completely fair. Because here's the bigger picture. This isn't just a one-off. It's part of a larger pattern. Look at how Sophie has been portrayed compared to other WNBA players. She's bold, outspoken, unapologetically herself, and that hasn't always sat well with the league or the media.
And I think we all know that if there's one thing that male sports fans want to see in their spaces and on their screens, It's more of me.
She's also one of the few players who isn't afraid to push back against the league's preferred narratives. And because of that, she's become a target, not just for rival fan bases, but even for certain media outlets. Let's be real, Sophie Cunningham has been branded as the WNBA's villain. But when the league's own staff start treating her like one during a playoff win, that's crossing a serious line. Now let's break it down. The Fever had just punched their ticket to the semifinals. On the bench, Caitlin Clark, Chloe BB, and Sophie Cunningham were all celebrating from the sidelines. None of them stepped onto the court. None of them violated any rules. They were just standing near midcourt, reacting the same way every team does in those big moments. And yet, the only person security decided to confront was Sophie. Not Caitlin. Not Chloe. Just Sophie. Fans noticed right away. The comments on Twitter and YouTube lit up, calling out the double standard. Some people didn't hold back, saying Sophie is singled out because she's blonde, white, and doesn't fit the league's approved storylines. Others pointed out the hypocrisy. If Angel Reese or Natasha Cloud had done the same thing, they'd probably be praised as passionate teammates. But with Sophie, she gets painted as entitled or out of control. And here's the kicker, Sophie didn't even react badly. She stood her ground, didn't lash out, and made it clear she wasn't going to be intimidated. But the truth is, the whole situation never should have happened in the first place. Security wasn't protecting order, they were creating a scene. And once fans saw that, the outrage was inevitable. Because this isn't just about one confrontation. It's about a bigger issue in the league, how the WNBA treats players who don't fit the mold. Caitlin Clark has been dealing with it for 2 straight seasons. Constant targeting on the floor, hard fouls that don't get called, and media narratives that try to downplay her influence. Sophie, who's always been a polarizing figure, is caught in that same cycle. And instead of embracing the attention and popularity she brings, the league seems more focused on tearing her down. If you're tired of the double standards, hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe for more no-filter sports takes.